I belong to a church club for old people, originally started off by two couples. The 92-year-old is housebound and her husband has died. The 88-year-old, his wife's died and he has cancer. So in January, me and another woman were given the keys and the running of the club. But we've been unable to take over the finances because the bank is just messing us about all of the time. We've been to the branch twice to fill in forms. They've asked us to make a headed letter to write back to them again, and then they've suggested that I go to the old man's house, the 88-year house, and speak to them on the phone, which I did with him. And we've still not got the signatures swapped over since January.
So sorry, Joan, can I just make sure I understand this? You want to take over as the signatory on your church social club account from an 88-year-old and a 92-year-old who...
That's correct. Me and another lady.
Yeah, okay. Now,
and it's considered to be a business account because it's a charity, and apparently the branches don't deal with business accounts.
Right, so just explain that to me. Is it because it's run by the church that it's a charity? So
I don't know. It's because it's in the church. I don't know. It's not run by the church. The volunteers run it.
A social club wouldn't normally be a charity because to register with the Charity Commission, you have to jump through millions of hoops.
Well, that's what they tell me. Because it's a charity, it's a business account, and it's been like that since 1991.
Okay. And presumably, I mean, normally one would say it's as simple as the bank giving you forms that need to be signed by the two people who are leaving.
That's correct. That's what they did.
So, and did those two people, the 92-year-old and the 88-year-old, sign the forms?
They did.
And you took it to the bank?
Yes.
And the bank won't accept it. Why?
Well, they said that they wanted alterations made to the form, nothing to do with the signatures, so we made the alterations. Then they asked for a letter-headed thing. Then they wanted me to go and answer questions with the 88-year-old, which I did.
Okay, question for you, Joan. How much money is in this account?
$5,000, approximately.
Why doesn't the 88-year-old draw that $5,000 out and you set up a new bank account and pay it in, just to get round the bank bureaucracy?
Right, that might be an idea. We're a bit concerned because we're not very good at internet banking.
I understand, and that's not an ideal position to be in a modern world, of course. But I understand it's very, very difficult if it's not something you're comfortable with. I suspect, I don't know, I should know this, Joan, I'm sorry. I suspect there are banks that are particularly good with older people.
Yes.
And maybe that's yet another reason for the 88-year-old and 92-year-old to close down that account and you open up a new one with another bank. But
right.
that's not the legal answer. That's my practical suggestion, Joan. Let me come to the legal answer.
Right.
The legal answer is if there is a valid instruction to the bank to transfer over the signatories, to change the signatories, the bank should do its job and do exactly that. I don't know whether the forms you filled in have been filled in correctly. If they have, the bank should be getting on with it and not messing you around.
They're checked over by the branch.
Okay.
We take them back to the branch checks them over, and then we go back again to have them checked over again. The branch rings up the headquarters, wants to know what it is that they require at the business branch.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so then what you can try doing is contacting putting in a complaint to the bank and contacting and reporting them to the banking ombudsman. But honestly, Joan, this is all going to take time and effort and grief. Simpler by far, by a mile, is to open a new account at a friendlier bank.
Right.
And then just move the money over.